Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have an incredible day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what guidance, messages, and insights the universe has for us, especially in terms of struggling with communication, feeling like others aren't listening to you, feeling like there's no space for you, like people are trying to basically emotionally manipulate you kind of thing, guilt trip, that all that mess that can come with relationships, whether friendships, familial, romantic, with in the job, like whatever, wherever. So let's take a look at the cards and see what the universe wants us to know. Okay, so what I'm getting with this, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. For a lot of us, this feels like stepping out of the comfort zone of staying quiet, staying out of the way, being as small as you can to, quote unquote, not rock the boat, because a lot of people will say that about us. It's like, oh no, you're just causing problems, you're just causing drama when you're trying to speak up and, have healthy boundaries. And so this could be having some uncomfortable conversations, especially if you're not used to speaking up. But in the long run, it's going to be for your benefit. It could also mean stepping out of your comfort zone and enforcing these boundaries, which might mean that you are restricting access people have to you. It might mean that you are walking away from certain situations, people, and places and refusing to go back. It could mean that you're cutting ties. It could mean, you're not giving them any more of your energy. Like, it's going to be hard if you're not used to it. Trust me, I've been going through that a lot lately. And it's really picked up in the last couple years, like last 6 months or so, especially because I escaped a toxic group that had an officially diagnosed narcissist. There were smear campaigns, and I spoke up, was trying to have my voice heard. They kept not listening to me. They kept gaslighting me, saying I was crazy, invalidating me, belittling me, all these things. And so it's like I had to get into the uncomfortable situation of saying enough was enough. They kept crying about it because I ended up blocking them and refusing to have anything more to do with them. And they started, trying to use other people as messengers and going on about how I was being so unreasonable. And it's just like, you can't treat me with common decency to a fellow human. If you can't give me kindness and respect and have space for me, and all you care about is yourself, like, that's not a healthy relationship, and I don't want any part of it. So this is kind of the thing that feels like it's coming up for a lot of us. And it could be, in the job, because I've had that plenty of times with jobs where they'll just use me like a tool and think they can just, force me to go all over the place, running around and, taking and taking and taking. And then they think they can just toss you out and be like, we don't need you anymore. So it's like, there's so many different ways this could play out. It could also be with family, because that happened in the holidays where I was enforcing a healthy boundary with a family member because, there are dog allergies in the family, and I was like, hey, we need to have some kind of compromise, what they want. No, that's not okay. It's not healthy for everyone involved. No. And it's like I was meeting halfway, and it's like, hey, the dog can't stay here, but it, if he wants to bring it as a compromise for an hour or so for a visit, fine. But the dog can't stay here. It's a huge dog, it's untrained, no, that's not gonna work with the allergies. It's not okay. And so then people just started whining about, oh, that's so unfair, that's not right, it's this dog. And it's like, it's people's health and well-being. What? Our dad needs an inhaler around dogs, and you want to have the dog stay with people and not care about their well-being. No. So yeah, that's coming up a lot. I'm seeing it so much in my life. I'm hearing it so much from other people. So yeah, like, we got to step out of our comfort zones. We need to speak up. We need to take space. We need to enforce those healthy boundaries. And the people who are used to getting their way, because anytime someone tries to speak up and to have those healthy boundaries, they create these sob stories. They cry and cry about how much you're hurting them. And they victimize themselves. They paint you out to be the bad guy. They paint you out to be the one that's crazy and unreasonable and wrong. And they get all these enablers to flock around them. And they will basically try to emotionally blackmail and guilt trip you into, giving in, into caving. And so we need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that. Yes, if you give in, if you cave, in the short term, you may quote unquote have more peace because they're not, making a big old fuss and a big stink and being loud and vocal and crying and, going into all these theatrics. But in the long term, they're going to keep thinking they can get away with it. They're going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again because they've learned that if they keep it up, if they keep going at it and going through all these sob stories and whatnot, that they get what they want. And that's not healthy for anyone. So we really need to start stepping in our power more, reclaim that, and make ourselves a priority. That's not to say that other people aren't important, but you matter, and they can't just walk all over you. They can't just blatantly disregard you and, be so disrespectful and hurtful and just unkind and aggressive. Like, no more of that. No more sob stories of, being the victim. It's like, no, everyone matters in this, and you can't just have it your way and bulldoze over everybody and then, get everyone to come give you sympathy and all like, oh, it's okay, we'll help you feel better. It's like, you're the one who's been hurting people, like, in the instance with the family member with the dogs, like, you're literally putting people's health in danger. Like, my dad, like, he's had these asthmatic attacks because he's been around dogs where he couldn't breathe, and like, he's had to go to the hospital. So like, no, like, we don't play these games, okay? We don't play these games. But they're gonna try. Yeah, oh, both of these. Emotions are running high. Look at the bigger picture. Yeah, people's emotions are running so high. Like, so many people have just been coming at me with all these high emotions, and they're not doing the internal work, and they're not processing things, and they're throwing it onto everybody else and not looking at themselves and just trying to make everybody else be the one who has to clean it up. They don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take responsibility. But yeah, we need to look at the bigger picture, because when we let them get away with it, when we let them just, have their big fuss, be a big stink, and just like, cave to their whims, it's just like, that's helping no one. And you are kind of not, like, you're kind of destroying yourself on the inside little by little by little. I've been doing reflections about various relationships in my life ever since I got out of that toxic group with the narcissist. And I've been seeing a lot of patterns with people who, I know my family is a big hot mess and there's full of all these unhealthy dynamics, but it's like, even people that I thought were, in my circle that had my back, they have unhealthy dynamics. And this one person in particular has been coming up a lot. And it's like, this is like a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Like, it just keeps going. Like, the trust keeps getting withered away to nothing. And like, this giant chasm is like, okay, I gotta look at the big picture. It's like, I can't keep doing this. And I feel like a lot of people are reaching that point where it's like, this is the point of no return. I can't keep doing this. I'm going to stand up for myself. And the other people with their emotions running so high can't stand it. They can't stand it. But we are literally entering a period of rebirth. We are becoming new and improved versions of ourselves. We are becoming stronger. We are becoming more confident. We are not putting up with the nonsense. And the people who are used to having their way cannot stand it. They want us to stay our old selves. They really, really do. Because our old selves put up with their games and their nonsense and their dramas and caved and, didn't speak up because, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to be, quote unquote, the problem, because that's what people love to do. And we're not having it anymore. We're not having it anymore. We are looking at that bigger picture. We are stepping out of our comfort zone. And we are not playing into their same emotional games, because a lot of times these people will push our buttons, and they'll push and push and push, testing our limits to see if we will break, and we will either give in to what they want or lash out and get super emotional and angry and scream and shout and like all these things and get in the back and forth with them, because then they have ammunition against us, and they can be like, see, look, they're the ones hurting me. Look at how mean they're being to me. Look at them. They're yelling at me. They're lashing out at me. It's so, like, this is so unfair. This is, and like, how they do. You know how they do. And that's how the toxic group that I escaped did it. That's how other people in my life have done it before. That's how my family does it. That's, former bosses, like all these things. They will use emotions against you. So do what you can to look at the bigger picture and keep your calm, keep your cool. Yes, speak up for yourself. Yes, have those healthy boundaries. Yes, stand up for yourself and make yourself a priority. But do not fall victim and fall prey and get ensnared into their emotional games, because they want that. They most likely know how to play the emotional game and get you all riled up until then they can use it as ammunition. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for it. It's just, adapting. We are adapting. We are no longer playing the old ways and getting swept up in emotions and letting them have their ways. Like, we're not doing that anymore. We are not. We have the clarity now. We're just like, okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, I see how we've had this vicious cycle before and all these healthy, unhealthy dynamics, and you're not treating me right, and you're being very disrespectful and rude and, unkind and unloving and unsupportive and all these things. It's like, no more. I see now. I see the bigger picture. I'm adapting. I am learning. I am growing. No more of this. It's unsustainable. Yes, receptivity. And it feels like you are getting receptive to the clarity, to the adaptation, to the rebirth, to seeing the bigger picture, to stepping out of your comfort zone. But it also feels like reciprocity, where you are getting receptive to what is actually healthy for you, what is actually good for you. And you're not putting up with the nonsense. You're not going to give the wrong people your energy anymore. It's not that you hate them. It's not that you're bitter. It's not that you're resentful and you're going to wish ill on them. But you deserve better. You deserve respect and kindness and love and support, and to be listened to and to have space for you. So you are getting in the receptive mode to align with that, to let more of that in versus the old. Because listen here, we are so done with that. Oh boy, no more of those games. No more. Like, it's a hot mess. And yeah. Okay. I surrender it all. And this feels like not saying that you give up and you won't, be committed to yourself and stand up for yourself, but you're surrendering to, how a lot of us try to control the outcome and how we want to force things to be like, no, it has to play out like this. Just like, no, I surrender. I'm not going to try to, quote unquote, make them understand. I'm not going to try to get them to do what I want. I am going to let them be. I'm going to let them be how they are. And they can, have access to me if they can treat me right. If they can listen, if they can make space for me, if they can be kind, if they can be understanding, if they can show love and kindness and respect. But if they can't, so be it. I can walk away. I can, love them from a distance and keep to myself and cut them off from my energy. I can do that. It sucks, but I'm going to surrender to what is, because I am one human. I have limits to what I can do. The only thing I can control is how I choose to show up in this world. So I surrender to all the things I cannot control. I surrender to it. I'm not going to try to force it. Yeah, I begin my day with love. And that's the thing. You're choosing love. Not just for other people. Yes, you're going to show them love and respect and kindness. 1000%. But you are also learning to show yourself that same love, kindness, and respect. And you are not going to put yourself in situations where you know you will not get that. You're just like, no, I love myself too much. I'm not going to do that. And that's going to, ruffle feathers. That's going to throw people into a tizzy and have their emotions a lot of whack because they don't know how to do their own internal work. They don't know how to tend to their own emotions and process them and have that internal sound foundation and inner peace. They don't know how. They're used to having everyone do it for them. But you're not doing that anymore. And the thing is, they'll try to claim that you're not being loving. But if you're enabling their bad behaviors, that's not love. It truly isn't. That's actually harming them and yourself by enabling the bad behavior, by allowing them to walk all over you, to disrespect you, to treat you like garbage. That's not love. And, choosing to walk away, to, cut off your energy, to not feed into that, that's tough love, but it's very much love, and it's what they need. They need to learn the lesson. That's not like you're going out to punish them and for vengeance. We're just like, no, I love myself not to do that. And, if you can learn, grow, and improve, I may open my door up for you again. But as it is, no, I don't accept that. I'm not going to tolerate mistreatment and abuse and neglect and all this disrespect. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, relationships are assignments for optimal growth and healing. Listen, guys. Listen. Just speaking from all my experiences with the toxic group and the narcissist from the end of last year, oh my goodness, there was so much chaos and hurt and suffering and pain from that group that I underwent, and it sucked. But I can attest that I grew a lot from undergoing it and making it through on the other side. I have learned to stand up for myself better. I have more inner strength. I have more resilience. I know my worth. I will, speak up for myself to make sure I'm heard. And I am willing to walk away now. Like, I was already kind of willing to walk away after what happened with my aunts being nasty and horrible and lashing out and being all this aggressive nonsense with me about 2 years ago. But after that toxic group, I'm just like, I'll block people. It's like, it's not me not wanting to give you a chance. It's like not giving great. That's not it. It's, I'm done. I'm going to love myself and be kind to myself and respect myself and not do this anymore because you've shown your true colors. You've done it time and time again. You've run out of chances. And so any of these struggles that we're undergoing, any of the challenges with these relationships and the communication, it's like, it's for our growth. It can be some painful lessons. There can be growing pains, but it's for our growth and for us to heal and to know our worth and to treat ourselves right and to know who we should allow into our lives, who we should give our energy to, and just what kind of people we want to associate with, It's just a hot mess, but we're doing our best and we're making our way through it. Yeah, we have Falcon. Use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. Yeah, that's the thing. With all the clarity and adaptation and rebirth and, looking at the bigger picture and surrendering and allowing in love and focusing on that, like, listen, I have made this mistake in the past. Looking back at my first relationship in terms of romance, it was a hot mess. And I gave more chances than I should. And I ended up, having to deal with a lot because of it. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. It's just like, he cheated on me and would explode on me and would yell at me because he would say sorry, and I'd be like, okay, well, how do we proceed from here? What are we going to do? How do we start making amends? Because all he'd do is say sorry, and then he'd start screaming at me like, what, my apology isn't good enough for you? And it's like, when you started doing that, I should have walked away. I didn't know then what I know now, but yeah, don't delay in making these decisions. You have the clarity, you have the perception, you are seeing the bigger picture, you know what you need, what you want, and what you deserve, and don't keep handing out chances to people who aren't worthy. If they clean up their act and they genuinely make the change and they learn and grow and improve, then consider giving them another chance. And I say consider because maybe they burn that bridge and they don't get any more chances. And that's your right to call. That's your choice to make. But don't delay. Don't keep letting these people in, because I am speaking from experience. It gets so messy and so much more complicated, and there's so much more headaches and heartaches when you do it. It's a hot mess, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. Please. I'm begging you. For your own sake, don't do it. Yeah. The power of divine grace is within you. Like, the universe is here guiding you and supporting you and protecting you and loving you. And it is showing you these people's true colors. It is giving you all the signs. It is here with you. So you'll make it through the other side, okay? It may be messy and painful and complicated and full of all this chaos and drama until you get to the other side. But speaking from experience, you'll be better for it on the other side. And the universe, the divine, it's not going to leave you. It's not going to abandon you. So just stay the course, guys. Do what's best for you and don't give in. Just don't, because it's not worth it. For real, it's not worth it. Yeah. Forgive. May it let you be like, this is forgiving other people for hurting you. Also forgiving yourself, because again, you didn't know then what you know now. You know better now, so you can do better. And when I say forgive them, that doesn't mean you let them back in. That doesn't mean that they're guaranteed another chance and that you keep giving them your time, energy, and attention. If they have made the amends, if they have repaired the trust, if they have genuinely, tried to do better. And again, we're all humans, and so we'll make mistakes, we'll slip up. But it's about the genuine, sincere effort, and if they're actually trying and putting in the work and putting in love and care to what they're doing, that's when you can give other chances. But with forgiveness, it's just like, it's more about freeing yourself and lightening your load, because if you are not forgiving other people, if you're holding that bitterness and resentment and hatred in your heart, and guys, I understand if you have that, because people can do us so very wrong and then act like they did nothing wrong and that you're crazy for saying anything. I get it, but love yourself enough to let that go. Like, if you're holding on to that in your heart, it's just like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer the consequences and die. Like, it's not going to work out that way. You're just going to be hurting yourself. So forgive and let it go. And that doesn't mean you let them back in. That could mean you just walk away and you never look back. But forgive. You deserve better. You genuinely do. Yeah. Enough. May you be exactly as you are. You are more than enough. You are more than enough as you are. You have been through so much. You deserve love and kindness and respect. And it also feels like you've had enough. Like, you've had enough of the mistreatment. You've had enough of their drama and their manipulative, petty games and them playing the victim and creating these sob stories. You've had enough. You've reached the point of no return. And, for some of you, that means you're going to speak up and tell them exactly what's on your mind. You're going to be honest. You're not going to be ruthless and, try to hurt them. But you're like, no, the truth needs to come to light. And, this could be, it's not necessarily you looking to have a conversation about it. You're just like, no, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. And then you could just choose to walk away and leave. Like, for some of you, that's how it is. For some of you, the other person genuinely didn't realize and they want to make amends. And then, some of them just aren't going to care and they're just going to cling on to their old ways and, shift blame, accuse you of being the perpetrator, accuse you of being the one in the wrong, all these things. But no, you're enough. You deserve good things. You deserve love and kindness and respect and fun and support and just good, easy times and clear communication where there's not all the nonsense and the drama. So don't sell yourself short. Know that you're enough. Good things are coming. Good things are coming. Beauty. May you perceive nature's artistry fresh. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of times when we're dealing with all this drama and conflict and all the nonsense that people can start up and just like, feel so heavy and energetically nasty, we can lose sight of the beauty of life. And we can lose sight of all the things we could be grateful for because it's just like we just feel so beat up and sad and just like frustrated and just like, I just want peace. I just want love. I just want kindness. I just want open, honest communication. And some people aren't capable of it. But if you walk away, like I did with that toxic group with the narcissist, once you close that door and don't look back, you can experience the world anew. Your eyes are fresh and you just start feeling how much lighter it is and how much you appreciate all the good in life and the people who are actually in your corner and supporting you and give you that love and kindness and respect. I remember someone else decided to leave the toxic group as well, and they had been, debating on it back and forth for a while, and then like once they made the decision to leave, they're like, it feels like this huge weight's been lifted off my shoulders. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much it was affecting me and weighing me down and just feeling icky. And it's like, yeah, I know. Once I decided to leave, it made a world of difference as well. And it just feels so fresh and amazing and light. And you can let more fun in and laughter and joy. And it's beautiful, guys. Yeah, we are crossing the bridge and successfully overcoming a problem. We truly are. We truly are. Because we're overcoming the forces that are working against us, which generally is these other people who tend to be very much in their ego, very much acting out unconsciously. They're not, taking accountability or trying to live a life of integrity. They don't necessarily care if they hurt other people. And it's some of them, I don't think they're necessarily intending to, and they just rewrite the stories of what happens in their head so that they are innocent and they didn't do any wrong. Like, it can be such a hot mess, guys. But good luck is coming our way, and you should get excited for that because it is working out so much better than we could anticipate. And it's because we are doing the work and because we're speaking up and stepping out of our comfort zone and looking at the bigger picture and just speaking up for ourselves. And we're on the road to success. I know it may not look like it right away because these people can have those tough emotions. And yeah, you need to defend yourself. You need to prioritize yourself. You need to commit yourself. You need to be devoted to yourself. And, sometimes it can be easier said than done. But at the end of the day, it's going to work out in your favor. And you're being taken care of by the universe in these difficult times. And yes, short term, it may suck so hard. Like, it could be so, the people that I've been dealing with, there have been such energy drains. I was like, I tried to give space. I tried to give you a chance to, step up and, make amends and all this, but you keep doing the same thing. So I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done. And in the end, it's going to work out for everyone's benefit. Eventually, they will learn their lessons and, choose to do better. But I'm not in charge of their timing. And so I'm just going to let that go and do me and live a life I can be proud of and choose to do my best to stay in integrity and accountability and act from a place of love, kindness, respect, honesty, and just peace, because that's important to me. That's what I'm looking for. And I feel like a lot of you are looking for that too. So, yeah, it's going to be messy and complicated short term. And we're probably dealing with a lot, because emotions are running so high lately. Like, oh my goodness, people are popping off. Things are so heated. They're just like snapping over the smallest things. But in the end, we're going to have so much growth and healing. We're going to recognize our worth. We're going to get reconnected with the beauty of life, the beauty of nature. We're going to have success. We're going to have good luck. We're going to overcome these problems. We're protected both by ourselves, by us speaking up and standing up for ourselves, but also by the universe, because we're doing the work. We're living a life of integrity. We're choosing, love and peace and kindness and integrity. And so the energy we put out in the world will ultimately come back to us. And all the other people who choose the opposite will have to reap what they sow and deal with the consequences. They're natural consequences to our choices, whether for good or for bad. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!